Okay, so let's have a look at this sample net cash budget. So how to finish off your budgets. So the first thing, if you had a budget, you would have calculated the total income. So in this budget, we've got our total income for January 6,600, for February 6,600, for March is 6,600, and for April is 6,600. So the first thing we need to do is add up all these figures. So you're going to add up 6,600, 6,600, 6,600, and 6,600. So you're going to get 26,400. Then our total expenditure, now you would have done this as well. So your total expenditure is made up of your fixed or regular expenditure, plus your irregular expenditure, plus your discretionary expenditure. So our expenditure for January is 5,400, for February 6,900, for March 7,200, for April 6,500. So you need to add up all these totals for each month to get your totals for the 4 months. So our expenditure is going to be 26,000 for the total 4 months. So your net cash tells us here A minus B. So you're going to take our total income for each one of the months. I'm going to take away our total expenditure for each one of the months to see how much we've left over in that month. So for January, A, 6,600, B, 5,400. So you're going to take 5,400 away from 6,600. So you can use your calculators for this. 6,600 minus 5,400. And at the end of the month, we're going to be left with 1,200 left over. That's what's left over after the money coming in and the money going out. Our opening cash then in our bank is minus 1,000. So in our bank, we've got minus 1,000. Now we have 1,200. So our closing cash is going to be 1,200 plus minus 100 or 1,000, and that's going to give us 200. So we have a minus figure here. We have to pay back the minus figure. So we have 1,000 to pay back the minus figure, and then we have 200 left over. Remember, your closing cash for 1 month becomes the opening cash for the next month. So if you think about it, in your bank account for January, if our closing cash was 200, on the last day of January, we'll be starting the first day of February with 200. And then you're going to start to find out the net cash again. So net cash for February, A minus B. So A, 6,600, B, 6,900. So you're going to take one away from the other. So you're going to take 6,600 away from 6,900, and you get minus 300. So in our account, we've got 200. Now we've taken out 300, so we've minus 300 left over. So we've got minus 100 left. So you could put in your calculators, minus 300 plus the 200, and you get minus 100. So we've always added them on to get your closing cash. You're going to add your net cash and your opening cash to get your closing cash. So for February, add your net cash plus your opening cash to get your closing cash. Remember, your closing cash for 1 month becomes the opening cash for the next. So we're starting March with minus 100. Our net cash, A minus B, so 6,600 minus 7,200. So you got minus now of 6,000 or 600. So the end of the month, we have minus 600. Starting month, we have minus 100. So you're going to add those two together. So equals minus 600 plus minus 100. And we have minus 700 left in March. So a little bit too much expenditure going on here. So we spent too much in March. So remember, your closing cash for 1 month becomes your opening cash for next month. So it's minus 700. So your opening cash for April. And then to find your net cash, it's going to be 6,600 minus 6,600. So we've got 100 left over in April. So now to find our closing cash, we're going to add 100 to 700 minus 700. then your calculator is 100 plus minus 700. So our closing cash is minus 600. So remember your total, you're going to take your closing cash for, or your opening cash for January, so it's minus 1000. Then we're going to find our net cash, which is 26,400 minus 26,000. Sorry, 26,400 minus 26,000. Sorry, no, 26,000. So you got 400. So our net cash is 400. Our opening cash is minus 1,000. So you're going to add them together. So equals 400 plus minus 1,000. And that's going to give us minus 600. So remember, these two figures must be the same. If they are, you know you've done it correctly. So a couple of things. Your net cash, A minus B. Closing cash is where you add your net cash and your opening cash. So for this figure here, it was 1,200 plus minus 1,000, that gives us 200. And your closing cash for 1 month becomes the opening cash for the next. Remember, when you come to your total column, you're going to look back at the start of the question and find out what your opening cash is. And that figure is what you start your total column with. And these two figures must be the same when you answer the question.